It hurts. It hurts to be told you're not welcome. Forget welcome, you're not allowed.
If we walked down the sidewalk and a white man was coming toward us, we had to look down upon the ground. And if a white woman walked down our same sidewalk, we would have to walk out in the street. Couldn't walk down the same sidewalk.
The language that I read basically said the only people allowed to live in this community, in these homes, are white, unless you're a servant.
It's not open racism, but they didn't factor in that there was a slew of hidden racism.
White, asset-based middle class didn't simply emerge, it was structured.
In 1950, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People asked 13 African American families if they would each attempt to enroll their kids into all-white schools around the United States. Oliver Brown agreed to this and tried to enroll his daughter, Linda Brown, into Sumner Elementary as a third grader. This would have been beneficial for the Brown family, as the white school was closer to their house, making it safer and more convenient. Linda Brown was turned down by Sumner Elementary because of her race. Similarly, this was the result of the other 12 African American families involved in this case. This gave the NAACP a good reason to file a lawsuit against the Board of Education on behalf of the 13 families for violating Section 1 of the 14th Amendment.
We knew that we deserved something better. It was very obvious to us that what we had was not equal. I mean, they even had like an open area in the center of the school. They had a garden.
Section 1 of the 14th Amendment states that no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream.
1951, Oliver Brown and the other 12 families filed a class action lawsuit against the Board of Education in Topeka, Kansas. The families claimed that the separation of black and white schools were in fact unconstitutional. The U.S. District Court for the District of Kansas ruled against all 13 families, justifying the decision the Supreme Court made in 1896, known as Plessy v. Ferguson. Plessy v. Ferguson ruled that racial segregation was not a violation of the 14th Amendment as long as the facilities were equal, which gave the name to the doctrine known as separate but equal. This was a major issue because the schools and facilities were not equal. The black schools got everything that the white schools no longer wanted, causing a hand-me-down system. Once the district court in Kansas made this decision, the Browns appealed to the Supreme Court. And in 1954, the Supreme Court overruled Plessy v. Ferguson, unanimously declaring that the separate but equal doctrine was unconstitutional for all public schools and facilities. This court ruling was a major cornerstone in the civil rights movement and a big step forward leading to the equal rights for American citizens.
The truth is that Brown versus Board of Ed isn't just about our history, it's about our future. Because while that case was handed down 60 years ago, Brown is still being decided every single day. Not just in our courts and schools, but in how we live our lives.
In the final decision issued on May 17, 1954, Chief Justice Earl Warren stated that in the field of public education, the doctrine of separate but equal has no place, as segregated schools are inherently unequal. Brown versus Board of Education did not change America overnight, but it cleared the path for many advances in the civil rights movement, while giving hope to millions of Americans and positively changing America forever.